This is day 664 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you like to sponsor upcoming share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. We very greatly appreciate it. Today we are doing Siman Shin Sadik Aleph, Shin Sadik Zayin, sorry, Sifid Aleph to Shin Sadik Ches Aleph. And we are a little way from it. Yirav. A woman who borrowed from her friend water and salt. Lisasa for her dough. The traveling terasa or spices for her pot. Be yontif. So the dough and the pot are limited to places where both women can go. The lower meaning of the lifta mayim melkabis, we don't say that the salt and the water are nullified in the flour of the dough. Vatavlin, the guy was there, and that the spice is nullified in the pot. The kamish shabolo takini so akdera, since they come to fix the taste of the dough and of the pot. Havli kamin bamino, it's like a mixture of meat and bamino, and we know low butter but davish matir and afil b'rabarim. That's not butter when it's a davish matir, which tomorrow would be permitted altogether. It's a rabbanon like Erev Tchum. Shel Erev to Tagami that evening, so it will permit to completely. What happens, however, if the food's going to get ruined by nightfall? Oh, Shaya B'yom Rishon, or that's the first day of Yontif. Iskalka Machbar, it's going to get ruined until the second end of the second day of Yontif. Haraim B'Talim. Then, and only then, the water and salt butter, and as the Talvin butter as well. No considers the if it's going to get ruined by the time it's mutter. If a woman borrowed some sort of cooked dish, mix it into her cooked dish. Again, it goes like it's limited by where they can both go. The lowest thing beside bromi, we don't have to go after the minority of the mixture. Brackets. Rashi Beitz Lamtes Pirish the Davish Matir Lamachar, Davish Matir the next day Lichua, or the next day they can take it wherever they want to take it, or Yovi Klukan, they can eat it here. I call it if he's that, according to this, the time of Shady, according to the second reason, they can eat it here without taking it anywhere else. Lo Shayach, Shittiskalta Lamachar, the fact that it's going to get ruined by tomorrow is not a factor to be permissible. Just eat it where it is right now. Not really I think says the main reason is the first reason that it's going to get ruined until tomorrow, and by the time they get it somewhere else. So the time because according to the second reason that you can say we eat it here now, it's not considered double shesh matir. Should become lo nesmel because here it never became usher that it has to become mutter. It only became usher in one of the places where one of the women cannot go. That should be considered double shesh matir. If you want to pay base, we want to pay base. We're not going to go into it. Your base. We take from your friend a coal on the same. Again, it's limited to wherever the giver of the flame of the fire could have taken it. The coal could have taken it. I'm healing there. But if you ignite your candle or your piece of wood from the flame of your friend, it's like its status is like the person who lit his candle from it. The mamish flames are not considered to have significance. Disrespect. There, in fact, in all regards, the shalheves is not considered to have substance. The flames are considered substance. Labi surya no, except for things which are forbidden in hanoah chmir b'shalheves. In those cases, they were machmir by a flank. You're there. Siman Kuf Membeis Ayin Shom. You Gimel Shana Chachamim Mishnah. Chachamim taught us in the Mishnah. Bar Shel Yachid Krav Yachid. A well which belongs to an individual. Its tchum is determined by the tchum of that individual. Came Shem Yemel since it's his water. Haim Krav Balim, but it's like the status of its owner. V'Shal Soyer, it's the well of the city. Krav Shel Soyer Apayim Cholurach. It's like the status of the people of that city, which means the whole city and 2,000 amos to each side. It seems that if one of the people in the city made an error for himself, he still can't take the water with him to 4,000 amos because he is limited by the chum of people in the city. The chekas have a tour. This is the opinion of the tour indeed. Aval Rashba, Aval Ranzal, because they wrote the Machon and Sheir Zay Rev Lutzofan Zeldorm. We have some people in the city, some made there from the north, some made there to the south. Zemel Chutzofan Zeldorm. This guy taking 4,000 amos to the north, and that guy taking 4,000 amos to the south. Shabor Azeh Kibor Shutfim. This well is said to be like the well of partners. V'yesh Breir B'Dirabanan. And there is the concept of Breira in things which only Dirabanan. Breira meaning that it becomes clarified retroactively whose water was which. In the partnership well, although now all the water is together, you can say retroactively the water I took was mine, the water you took was yours. Vamina Davar Hufra, it was become clarified. Hufra Davar Shemaim Elu Shemile Me'esmo Amdul Chelko. That these waters he filled up from yesterday, they were his portion, which were possibly the same thing. Somebody in the city filled up from the bore, not you yourself, and gave it to the other person. So then it goes by the status of the person who took the bucket from the bore. Because he acquired them when he drew the water. If a person who came from somewhere else, not from the people of the city, and he filled up his own bucket, come on, you can't move them from their place. Wow. Because the people of the city, they make erev tchumen. They're allowed to make erevin, so the people in the city have made erevin all over the place. That is very difficult to understand why that should make a difference. And Arukh HaShulchan has this difficulty too. I know this is in the Beis Yosef, or maybe it's in the Rashba. But anyway, Zevare Tamua. It's astonishing. The Robo here Mistam Lo Irvu. Mostly probably didn't make an Erev. Why should a person who comes from outside the city have 2,000 amos every direction? Sorry, Arukh HaShulchan doesn't understand that. A bor which doesn't belong to anybody is like the status of the person who fills up the water. This is about a well of water which is collected and static. The Mayon, if you have a well which is constructed from a spring, they don't require a specific place. They don't rest and they're constantly moving. Called the night so anything which is moving does not acquire a place of rest that it's tied down to. As we shall see. Yudalit, Narosa Moshchim, the rivers that flow, and springs that gush. They are like the person who fills up the water from them. Because they have no intrinsic place of rest, they deny it because they are constantly moving. How can they possibly acquire a specific place? They don't rest anywhere. Even if they don't go outside the confines of where they come out of the ground, like our wells, they're still bubbling in place, gushing in place. Therefore, they go like the status of the person who fills out for them, just like a bore of hefker. And this is true even if this river or this spring has an owner. I'm sorry. Affiliation Bailam. Uvahem. Not sure what Uvahem means. But anyway, Lo Shakur Bailam. It's not relevant. You can't really say it's like the status of the owner. Because the owners themselves, that they were moving, they weren't required a shvisa either. The kalim, in this case the water, is no different than the person. The person doesn't require shvisa to constantly move, neither does his water. Kalim shvisa, they have no place of rest. Even they flow outside the tchum of the city, or flow into the tchum of the city. Doesn't matter. Malim and Shabbos, you flow from the Shabbos, and it goes out saying also Yotif. Rank Ragla and Malay, and their status determined by the person who fills for them. The Sharatzian says, endorses what the Mishnah Berurah says. The Sharatzian endorses what the Arukh HaShulchan says, that even if the water is confined, such as in a well, since it comes from a spring or a river, it has no shvisa. Okay, back to Arukh HaShulchan. If you have rain which comes down near a city, the koshka b'socher is certainly within the city. Rain crav the anshe also here. It says like the people of the city. Lo konu shvisa. The rainwater did not acquire shvisa in its previous location. Okeanos in the ocean, Ba'avim or in the clouds. They were shown made at night because it's always moving in those locations. Something which is adjacent to the city is called inside the tchum. Not sure where there's the rest for us to say. I guess the rainwater is considered inside the tchum. Lama, Hain, Karagli, also here. Why are they like the status of that city? I guess it means I got it. A spring a well outside the city is still considered to be part of the Chum of the city, even though it's outside. Why they could have those only because that well is obviously affiliated in the minds of the people of the city, and probably the minds of the rest of the world with that city. But the only Zerak was Manak Shaman. He says that's only during the rainy season. So I guess he's talking about rain, actually, rainwater, not a well. Rainwater in a not a well. It's talking about rainwater. So rainwater falls within the Tchum city is shy of that city because it's affiliated with that city. That's only in the winters. In the winter when they have das on the rain, the rain, but not in the summer when they don't have das on the rain. Brackety says the Gemara Mashal Hedi the Beyond of Hagshami Karavne called others. It seems explicit for the Gemara that on Yontif rain is like has no specific shvi, so it's not affiliated with the city. Thank you, Shekel. They write that as well. That it does have shvisa. If you must the Arti Shabbos according to that which that has to do with the rainy season, not rainy season, has to do with the das, not the das. Oh, so long we should burn this. Mishmur Paskin, not so long. Mishmur Paskin's simply rain which comes down from Erev Yontif. It's like the status of the people of the city. But it comes on Yontif, it goes by the person who fills up the water. And Sharatzion says, Achraim says that those Sefer in the Magen Avraham who says otherwise. Okay? Test Vav. Milay Maim Mi Borshlef. You fill up water from a bore of Hefker. L'tzarech Chaver for your friends' purposes. They're still like the status of the person who fills up the water. Mishnah says if the bore was one of shutfus, partnership, and you fill it up for the purpose of your partner, then it goes after the person for whom it's filled up, because you're giving him from his portion. And Rabbanan, of course, this is Rabbanan, we say Yesh Breira. This clarifies retroactively. And the first guy, even though he filled it up, he was not Zoch at any time for himself, so it's not considered to be his. It does go by his status. Okay, so again, back to Arukh HaShulchan. So you fill up water for hefker for your friend. It's like the Raglei Memalei. They're not shufim, right? It's like the status of the person who fills up the water. Hi, we hold. Somebody picks up a lost object for his friend. The friend acquires the lost object. So it should be like the status of the person for whom it was filled. But it's not like that. The time the reason why the friend acquires that it really goes through the person who picked up the mitzvah. Since he acquires himself, he can also acquire for somebody else, but it goes through him. Since the schia was from the engagement of the first guy, so it's like his status in terms of tchum. Most Rishonim argue this, and they hold it's like the person's room was filled, not like Arukh HaShulchan. According to that, the way they learned is Magviyam Mitzil Chavero Kana Chavero, and not because of Migo Zachi. And so therefore, he says it's most plus on the way. would seem that he would poskin that it's in fact like the person for whom it's filled up, especially they already came to the hand of the person to whom it's filled up. That and in fact, there's more as far to say that it's like the status of the person for whom it was filled up when it's in his hands, because or before that, in final analysis, it's in the other guy's hands, so you wouldn't say that, I guess. But actually, it's not like Oshon Mishabura. Oshon holds when you fill it up with somebody else, even though since it's only through Migo Zaki Nafshi Zaki the Chavrei, it goes by the Ragleha Mimalei. Whereas according to the Mishnah Berurah, since we say it is Kiraglei, the person for whom it was Nismalei. Okay, Tesai Mishu Perus Mufkadim Iracher. Somebody has fruit which is safe. He gave for safekeeping in a different city, which is distant from him. The people that said he made an Erev in a manner which permits them to come to him. Nevertheless, so they shouldn't bring him his fruit. The Chodevar Pikar Arei which is Baila, because anything which is given over for safekeeping, it's like the it's still in the jurisdiction of its owner, not of the shomer. And vis-a-vis this owner, they were outside the tchum. And therefore, from his perspective, you can't move them. It's not like a borrowed object. We say that the object has the chum of the borrower. Because the borrower borrows for his own benefit. To use the object. Therefore, it's under his jurisdiction as long as the loan is in effect. But something for safekeeping, it's for the benefit of the person who gives it for safekeeping. So there it still remains under his jurisdiction. No, however, even if the object given for safekeeping is not like its original owner in terms of tchum, except where the nifgad, the person who got the object for safekeeping, designated a specific place in his house for this object. The shom which should be placed. Because since he designated a place, I'm sorry, the mafkid designated a place in the nifgad's rishus. So now, since the mafkid designated a place, there's no achrayas shmira on the nifgad. There is some, but not the primary achrayas. So therefore, it goes karagli mafkid. But otherwise, since the person given the object bears responsibility for it, so the pikadon is considered to be in his rishus. How can he watch it? It's good for. How can he watch it? When he doesn't have permission to take it, the place where he's going to go. That's why it goes like the tchum of the person given the object for safekeeping. The Shtabur writes that any way in which there's no chobah shmira on the nifkat, it's kiragli amafkid. The Shtabur and Sharatzian both write all this is when he put down fruit without specification. And then you decide to take him in the yontif. So then we have all these possible configuration issues. But if it was something which was he already knew before yontif that he was going to take it on yontif, then it's considered to remain in the status of the original owner, no matter what. Because the nifgad, the person giving safekeeping himself, it is mak that provides provides the shvisa in his jurisdiction. Well, no. It's not exactly saying to me. And with the nifgad himself is makna to the mafkid. I guess that space for the object to be according to his parameters of tchum. Just like an ox which is being found up to kill, that it's any customer who comes to take it, it's like his. So here too, the person who would come on yontif to take it, it's like his. You should know that even if the nifgad did not know that the owner of the fruit had in mind to take them, nevertheless, if the owner of the fruit thought at the time he's putting his fruit in the other guy's property that he's going to use them the next day, he can bring them because under his status, because they're kodesh pisa al dato. It's a bit of a chiddush because the nifka doesn't know about it. Okay, Yud Zayin. Misha Zimain Etzel Archim Yantav, somebody who invite guests on Yantav. Lo Yilichu B'Yadam Manos L'Makom Shem Baal Su Yachal Lechbo. They shouldn't bring home portions, doggy bags, the place where the person who invited them could not cook himself. And can single him no same unless he bestowed ownership on their portions to them before Yonta by the Acher by being makna through a third person. Looking if not, Afshi Abdaitum Erev Yonta Lasmina. So even if you had in mind to invite them on Yonta, Yesh Lem Tchum Bailim. Lo Tchum Archim. I skipped. Sorry. At that point, nevertheless, it's all his food and drink. The Yesh Lem Tchum Abayin, they have the Tchum of the owner, Lo Tchum Archim, and not the Tchum of the guests. V'day Yishno Dezeshis Bar B'Siv Ches. That's what you learned. The Shnayim Shlochel B'Bema B'Shutfas, the two people bought an animal in partnership. V'Abasukah V'Leshneim, that the meat is like the both of their statuses, L'achmir. Zerak by the live animals. The two tchumim inside the animal are nurtured by each other. It's one unified entity. I was shy of him, but other things. Shalokah b'shut was Erev Yontif. They bought a partnership of Yontif. The chokah beyond the divide up and Yontif go yayin b'kemach, such as wine and flour. V'chol she'en bo ruach chaim or anything else is not alive. Yochel koechel l'li chelko l'makom shorosh shayilech. Each person take his portion to the place where he's allowed to go. For me, we say Brera. That was clarified retroactively. That from before Yotif, this half was prepared for his part. The Rabbana Kamalish Brera, since the Rabbana, we hold the Yesh Brera, Utchumi have the Rabbana, and the Rabbanas we have already stated. Shin Tzaraches, Medina Satchumin, Ech Monadim. How do we measure the Tchum? Al Vapai Mamash Tchum is a Chutz Medal Amashimokosh Visas. If you're in the middle of nowhere, the 2,000 amos would be besides your personal 4 amos. The section Shabbos, that's if you're spend Shabbos in the field. I'll show you if you spend Shabbos in the city. Yeshlo, Kol Ha'ir, he has the entire city. Levad Alpaim Amma. Besides 2,000 amos outside the city, I feel Gog Antiochia, the city is great in size like Antiochia. Kem Shimukebes Choma, since it's surrounded by a wall. That is I'm sorry, Beit Shimukebes Choma, where it's surrounded by a wall. Beit Shimukebes Choma, not surrounded by a wall. Yesh L'Kol Yer, in terms of Tchum, he has the entire city. Levad HaPaimon, besides the 2,000 amos. L'das HaTuarnosim Od Ibur La'ir. You give also literally a pregnancy to the city. We don't measure the Tchum immediately when the city peters out. And the most Od Saim, you add another base of Saim. Shushim Amos Shiraim, which is 70 amos and 2/3, and by 70 amos and 2/3, with a bit extra, Shin Nun Hey. But Zeni Kroy Burshal is called the Ibur of the city. V'Yikayir Mamash is like the city itself. Uchlos Hashivim Mama, only after those 70 amos, Meslim Dora Pai Mama, you start counting the 2,000 amos Shu Tchum Shabbos. Rama Pasach Shein Osim Ibur Le'ir. Rama says don't give it a pregnancy. Elok Sheyesh is a bias, so he's a binim unless there's a structure of a house or a building to those 70 amos. Or 70 amos at the end of the 70 amos. That's the part of the city. You can manage the Tchum from there on out. If that 72/3 amos out from the city, there's a house, then you get another 72/3 amos. And there was another house at 72/3 amos, you get another 72/3 amos. Add infinitum. And Long Shmoshi is buyer. To be explained. Everybody agrees with this. There's no house at the end of the 70 amos. There's no pregnancy for the city. Start the Tchum immediately outside the city. Then given the Ibor, Aleph, and hey, Ramapas as well. And Mishnah says, and the Sharatzina, all right, they're all the same person, that somebody who has the custom to be Mako, we can't protest against him. Such as the Ramah is Mako. But the Ramah brings on the tour, who says that when there's a house in 72/3 amos, you get from the house another 72/3 amos. That maybe not, because some of the Rishonim argue on this, who say that you only give one Ibor, that they don't give an additional 72/3 amos, just one. But the Arukh HaShulchan seems to only give as many as you Please, as long as there's no gap in more than 72 thirds amos.